Welcome. All right, here we go. We are live on YouTube now, doing our live.
Good morning.
It's interesting to be here. Carlos, Chantel,
It's
Campos.
interesting to be here.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just we're starting our Coffee Connect this morning, and we are just being overrun with the guinea fowl. I don't know if you guys can hear them in the background, but they have literally started at like 5 a.m. and haven't stopped. I think maybe that's what they want. They want the
calling
chickens
females.
to be released. So one of our guinea, if you don't know a guinea
Males.
fowl, they're both males, and one of them is very in love with one of the chickens. Like he follows her around all day long, and he mates with her. So we thought that'd be kind of interesting to figure out which eggs are hers and incubate them because if you haven't seen guinea fowl are kind of funky looking.
They're awesome looking.
They're awesome looking. And so
Not necessarily sounding.
yeah, they make a lot of noise and they're actually very weird looking. They look kind of like aliens. so so with that said, like we have our guinea fowl that are making lots of noise today. Like seriously, and the chickens are still cooped up, so maybe that's it.
Yeah, we find that when they actually don't go in the coop at night, they're just nonstop. They're nonstop. So last night before bed, before they went to sleep, they were just. I tried to get them come down from the tree to go in the coop. Obviously, last night they just wanted to roost high up in a tree. And
so I think that's a good theory, though. I wonder what would happen if we let him out. Dad, go tell Jay to go let out the chickens because these guinea fowl it's 8:30 right now, 8:34 to be exact. Since 5 a.m. this morning, since about 5:30, they started and they have not stopped. See, like that, like it's like, whoa, wait, why'd they stop? Maybe that's weird to have silence for like 3 hours.
okay.
Oh, the ranch life. We do love it. But she was like last night because they were going crazy too. She was like, I'm gonna get a shotgun.
About to pull out the 22.
Yeah, it's funny how those things. But how are you today? So today, ranch life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna commit some time on the ranch, actually. We've got some projects that we've been needing to do heavily related to the road. We have we've got a pond and there's like a bridge. There's a creek that leads into the pond. Of course, we have a bridge. And so, yeah, we got to fix it. Right now, it's not working properly. So we've got to fix it because it's washing out our bridge. Let's just put it that way. It's kind of getting into an emergency state. I could hire it to be done, but that's a lot. But I enjoy it. That's my thing.
I mean,
it's kind of
you could hire it to be done.
But then,
however, you want to do it.
What would happen is if I hired it to be done, I'd probably be out there helping them.
I don't know if anybody else can relate, but if you have a husband that you're driving down the road and you drive by a lot full of big toys, like the excavators, the bulldozers, the skid steers, the bobcats, and their eyes just like go wide open and they're like,
what toys?
You're like, you're driving and they kind of swerve because they're looking over, they're looking at the toys. Anybody else relate? Do your husbands do that? Or your sons? It's like that little thing, with the kids like playing with their toys, and then all of a sudden you see like the man child eyes wide open seeing the toys. And
every time I like mini excavators I like tractors, backhoes. I've operated all of them, and I enjoy them. They're fun. Like I remember when we did the Tesla projects, and I remember that time you guys came to help. We were finishing up. Talk about all hands on deck. Bringing back some memories now. We were doing a Tesla project in California, a huge bunch of charging stations, and we were done. We just needed to do the final like close out, clean up. And so we had a mini excavator kind of cleaning stuff up, and Hazel and Chantel and some other friends showed up with brooms, and because a lot of it's just cleanup and final touch-ups. And that was fun because Hazel rode on my lap and she got to, that would have been, it's weird. She's 15 now. She's 6 foot tall. Like I'm trying to imagine her doing that. That was what, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So she's grown a lot.
No, that was longer ago than that.
Yeah. But anyway, she got to drive a little mini excavator. I enjoy those. They're fun. And it's really interesting if you've never operated one. They've got two like joysticks, and it really is like a flow to get that, because you can get to a place where it's the digger. It's like a hand. And always like the first few hours when I get back on it, I'm like, it's very jarry and jolty. And then after a while, it gets to where it moves like a hand, and it's really fun. And then I just go into like I remember, I'll never forget, we were on a Tesla project and we had rented this really big backhoe with an extension so we could dig this huge pit for the electrical services we were putting in for the charging stations. And I remember because all the guys had gone home, because that's the thing, as the leader of that crew and being the owner and superintendent on that project, I literally couldn't work. I just had to manage people and kept it in front of them. So like the day would end and I would then jump on the tractor. And I remember this is a little fun fact about me. It's either going to be like some weird rap music that you're like, what? Or classical music, two extremes. But literally, I remember that because it was like a very precise digging with that big backhoe, huge backhoe. And I remember just putting on classical music like Beethoven or Bach. I used to listen to that when I was a kid, and I do like it. It's a very focused, intense music.
Fun fact.
And then just digging. Nobody's there, just me and my backhoe, my big boy toy.
You expressed me with that coffee.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, just things. So that's all that to say.
All that
Today.
to say,
I'm gonna go rent some equipment and work on the road.
He needs to get out there. He's been talking about it for months and so true. Busy, hasn't made time on it. Rain and rain and rain. And now, because he hasn't actually taken the time to do it, he's facing a near emergency with that road.
Yeah.
So,
true.
Moral of the story is take care of your shit before it becomes an emergency.
It's all good. It's fun getting to work with Jay too. He's amazing.
And we do have Jay, but Jay doesn't know how to operate those kind of machinery. So he's not confident yet in those things. So it does require Carlos.
He's funny because he does it once he gets it there, and he's willing to jump on and do it. And he can figure it out because he's that guy. He's really smart. But it is true. Like initially he's like, yeah, you have to run the equipment. So anyways, that'll be fun. I've been wanting to work on that pond anyways. So that's an opportunity not only to like, and last time we had a mini X, we cleaned up a little bit and I dug that trench for the drainage, and it's fun. But yeah, this time we'll work on it some more and make repairs, and yeah, it'll be fun. I'm dedicating part of the day today. Notice I said part of the day, but oh man, I actually wish it'd be a fun. I know this sounds really strange, but it'd be a fun vacation to like have a week's worth of just
staycation.
Just a week's worth of just working on physical stuff around the ranch.
A staycation.
And I think then I'll do all the utilities for our parcels that we're gonna create. Dig the septic tanks. Just have a month of big boy toys on the property.
Oh my gosh. That'd be like a dream come true.
That'd be fun. Rent equipment and do it. Anyways, But how are the horses?
They're shedding.
Oh,
horses are shedding. Like, so my inner battle right now is because I'm dealing with
talking again.
Yeah, they don't shut up. My inner battle is with all of this congestion that I'm having.
Mm-hmm.
Do I groom them or do I wait?
You groom them. Good.
Yeah. Well, I tried last week and I lasted about a half hour before I couldn't handle it anymore because I couldn't breathe. Like they're shedding that bad. So
the dander affects you.
It's just
everything.
Well, last week it was also the wind, so wind is not so much today.
True.
And I do have some errands to run. You know, when you're traveling so much and you don't necessarily like actually run errands. I ordered some shorts and a bathing suit online, and I've already sent back the shorts once, got a new pair, and they still don't fit. I guess my size is shrinking. And
That's nice
more than
instead of too small.
Yeah, but it's like I don't want to send it back again. So I'm gonna go to the store to exchange it. I haven't done an errand like that in a while because we've been going so nonstop. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
We put a new block out for our sheep, talking about ranch stuff. That was kind of cool. Just sit there and watch them lick it. The things that entertain you, right? A mineral block to give them some extra nutrients, and it's kind of a supplement block. That was kind of cool because we got lots of babies. We have 9, and that we figured probably 8
babies,
and probably at least half of them, maybe
I
more,
think 5
males,
of them are males,
which is good for me. Meat. But then
oh my gosh, I'm gonna get a gun.
We also have to decide too, like, I mean, we keep Cookie around. It's always that thing about, well, then those baby females are his daughters, so then interbreeding, or do we trade him with another sire? Or do we keep him breeding his mama, but the babies we breed with some other? I don't know. It's always that thing, or we just let it happen, whatever. What'll happen is he'll end up breeding with his daughters. That's just nature. It's part of nature. These are interesting thoughts and conversations. At first, we were worried about it, and then we just like, what do they do in the wild? They just kind of run around together, and then what happens? It just happens. I always wonder if we should leave one of the males besides Cookie. Maybe next year, huh? Because we always
Cookie's still pretty young.
Cookie he was born on the ranch. He was one of the first ones, and we got attached to him.
You like the name Cookie? We learned our first year on the ranch with all of these livestock animals that names matter. So our first sire, our first ram, we named Thor. And if any of you know who Thor is, he's the god of thunder. And this ram like Thor's hammer.
True, you did.
So our next little ram, we named Cookie, and he's sweet.
That is funny.
I have Thor's head on my mantle. Those of you who don't know that.
Broke my finger because he rammed. I was trying to give him food, and they're like quick little boogers too. So you're like, I'm starting to put the dish down to feed him, and I'm holding the bucket to put it down for him to give him some. Like I thought I would hold it, and he'd be like nice and just eat out of the bowl while I'm holding it. And that little booger, when I was doing just like this, holding it, he rammed that. He could just go, bam, like hard and quick, and right into my finger. I was like, in that moment, I'm like, you're just a little peasant freaking sheep. I just wanted to like snap his neck because I knew I could. Like I know you think you're tough. That moment, I was like, I'll just do this.
So I learned how to handle Thor. The second he would come at me, I would just grab him by the horns and I would flip him. And the first time I did that, it was crazy because another fun fact. like he was like challenging me. So anyways, I grabbed his horns, then I swung around and
I'm
kind
gonna
of
see if I can
straddled
get a
him.
picture. Yeah, keep going.
I straddled him, and then I literally flipped him on his butt, and I looked down, and dude had the biggest boner. I was like, what the heck? It was the funniest thing. I actually managed to take a picture of it.
She did.
It was hilarious.
I think I took a picture of it or something.
No, you weren't there. I may have it somewhere. Anyways,
I know
that was the funniest thing, but that's how I handled him every time after that, and it worked beautifully. Carlos would like do this little dance with him, and I was like,
because he rams.
Yeah, you're scared of him.
Well, I was a little intimidated by him.
You
kind
scared.
of. And then I
It's
just
okay to
wanted
say you were scared.
I just wanted to snap his neck. He made me that mad. And I was
so Carlos is a brave dude, right? Full of courage and confidence.
It's the mind.
But he won't touch an electric fence.
Well, I have. But you're right, I don't like to.
And he won't grab the bull by the horn until he has to. But he'd rather like dance around with him and
kick him
and grab a stick and try to poke him away. I'm like, dude, just grab the freaking horns.
That's funny. You got a picture somewhere, but
that's the difference between Carlos and I.
Here's Thor. This is kind of cool. You can see it.
Another fun fact.
That was Thor when he was alive. It was kind of a bugger. But yeah.
I wonder if I do have.
He was a majestic looking dude. But a booger. So Cookie, now going back to Cookie, is his offspring that we kept. And Cookie was a special one too, because he had been injured, butting heads with his daddy. He actually, his horn went into his eye and popped one of his eyes out. And we discovered it, and then we ended up cutting his horn so he wouldn't die. And his eye healed up, and he now only has one eye. So, but we even made a little video about Cookie, and because we went in, and we've cut it twice now. So every few months we have to go in and cut his horn and make sure it's not going into that now, which is just a socket, right, where the eye used to be. But anyways, kind of fun stuff with the ranch that we deal with. And Cookie is one of our special sheep. Bah.
He is special.
And he's cool. He doesn't ram us. He runs from us, like that's for sure.
Well, he runs from us because we
have to grab him to hold him down and cut his horn. We have to use a grinder. It is kind of, we've got a couple videos where we videoed it and it is very interesting to do that, because Chantel has to hold him while I use the grinder to cut the horn. And he's like, at first he's kind of panicking. Of course, that's a loud noise by her head. But she'll calm him down and hold him down to where he then will calm down and trust us. And then we just cut the horn and it's all good. And then we saved his life.
Sweet. I can't find that picture. Anyways.
But I do have that picture somewhere too. I just need to find it.
Okay.
It is funny though. But the thing that I always tell Chantel is like, yep. I used to tell Thor, I was like, bro, I can relate, man. She has the same effect on me. So
I was like, what in the world? What is this?
Oh, that is a funny one.
It's almost like he got off on me challenging him. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting.
You sent it to me at some time, but anyways, we'll find it and we'll share it because it is funny. If you guys are interested in those funny kind of pictures, the things that happen on the ranch.
Ooh.
So yeah, a day on the ranch is always fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we actually were able to take some time on the ranch on Saturday. I have a nephew. Well, so my niece's husband, who I hadn't met yet at all, because their wedding was during COVID, I think. Mm-hmm. And and we actually didn't have anybody to watch the ranch at the time. So I didn't meet him. But he's a pilot, and he's here in Atlanta for some training at Delta. And so he's staying with us. And so it was really cool to spend the day kind of just hanging on the porch and walking the ranch and getting to know him a little bit. So that was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Got to see Lucy. Lucy's our female cow that's like an overgrown dog. I can literally call her and say her name and go, moo, Lucy. And she comes running. She does, literally.
Yeah.
So it's pretty precious. And then we just love all over her. And it was cute because I was like, yeah, have you ever been licked by a cow? And he's like, no. I was like, and then sure enough, she licked him in the arm. And he's like, whoa, that is weird. It was like she understood me. But yeah, she's our big dog. He does
understand.
Yeah. They're smart. They're really smart. If you look them up, they're top 5 smartest animals on the planet. Cows. So really interesting. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Maybe useless. Useless information unless you have a ranch.
Maybe you're entertained at least.
Yep. So Chantel excites me and the animals around here. Freedom too, man. Horse, he's our male horse. He's what do they call that?
Gelding.
He's a gelding. Oh, he's fixed, but he still gets really relaxed around Chantel.
He does. He sleeps on me all the time. He's got these big dreamy, eyes, and he just leans his head on my shoulder and just like falls asleep.
It is also fascinating, like when I think about even creation code and what I've learned through creation and God saying that we will have dominion over his creation. It's really a confidence thing because there is different responses that like freedom will have towards different people. He's kind of a booger at times and he'll bite. Dad, I'm almost like, bite. I've never experienced that with him. And I don't know if he just knows that I wouldn't tolerate it or what. I don't know, but he'll literally put his big old head on my shoulder and rest in my neck. And I've never, I don't know, it's the weirdest thing. But I often notice that animals respond differently to different situations. Just like when the sheep see Dad coming, oh my gosh, they come running because Dad always feeds them, right? So he's conditioned them to where they love him and he loves that. He loves giving them some little alfalfa hay, I guess. He's giving them little alfalfa pellets and they're chubby. Our sheep are chubby. They're ready for processing.
They are chubby.
Which is another thing, the cow we need to probably soon. Do you think we should process them both?
No.
Just the one. We have 2 castrated bulls right now, 2 steers.
No, I think we need to do one at a time. I mean, especially if we have Vinny do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were taking them all the way up to the processor, maybe.
We may need to take them to the processor. Vinny's our neighbor. He's really awesome, but man, he's got a lot going on these days. I would gladly let him do it, but that man wears a lot of hats. He's really awesome.
True.
And he's got a house full right now, family, lots of family there. So, but I definitely want him to hopefully process our smaller animals like the sheep and stuff. Cow is just a big deal. It's a lot.
I wonder if we put Dexter and Cooper in the round pen
together to
finish them.
Yeah, we thought about we did some research on how they finish and get like good fat marble on a cow. They don't let them walk around because see, we have several acres to where the cows walk and they essentially get exercise. So you take away the exercise and you feed them really good. They get marbled, chunky. So it'd be interesting. We just don't want to finish them with grain and do all that unless it was like non-GMO or something grain that we could find. I don't know. Maybe it'd be worth it to do that too. Because I sure love me some fatty ribeyes.
Yeah, so that's our next. So we've done the grass-fed, grass-finished. And it's just not great for the steaks.
It's good, but it's lean.
It's good.
It's very good.
It's very lean.
Super tasty.
So we're in our next phase
Trying
of
some
experimentation. So I am, if anybody knows of some amazing non-GMO feed to finish a cow, I'm gonna be I actually want to go to Lowry's and talk to them.
Yeah, it's it is very interesting how they finish, like when you understand Wagyu, like I did some, it's like wow, they actually put them in like a dark area and don't let them move around, small, confined, dark, is keep them calm. And they put on fats.
What?
They put on fat because of that. They don't move around. Plus, they're in a dark, calm area. Like everything that creates, like even the light. So the darkness calms them down to where then they put on weight. What does that say about us as humans? That's why you can put on weight quick with depression and all those things and being lethargic and not getting out and getting sun. So it's interesting they create that in a cow in Wagyu, that fancy high-end meat. That's what they do. It's very, and that's why it's so expensive. They do a lot to make it really fatty and yet still healthy and not fearful, because that changes the taste of meat.
The adrenaline.
They give it a lot of love, but yet they keep it in the dark. It's interesting. Do a study. It's a fascinating study, right? Like I said, useless information for you, because we're trying to figure out some creative ways of having meat that's more fatty, but yet still healthy and still. Anyways, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We're literally just talking about ranch stuff today. So
I hope you were entertained.
Oh gosh, dang, I finally got a splash, even though the coffee's almost gone. Yeah, I have such a spaz sometimes.
He's got his nice light jeans on and he's over here shaking his coffee mug, just
And it finally splashed on me.
Instead it gets talking with his hand so much. I know. Coffee mug in it. You're gonna have to go change.
Till Thursday.
Spray your jeans.
Till Thursday. We will next Coffee Connect. See you on Thursday. If there's anything you'd like to know more about, ask us. Well, we do love what we do, and we do love our ranch. Work-life balance.
Yes.
Okay, blessings. Love you guys.
Love you.
See you Thursday.